8 banks told us no before the 9th finally bought into what we were trying to do. We very specifically said we wanted no outside investors because we wanted no outside influence on what we were trying to create. We very naively said that we were going to sink or swim on our own merit, and it turns out several months in we learned that that's not how it works. You sink or swim on the merit of the team that you build and the people that you surround yourselves with. And so we've taken that back. We bought our building while my husband was unemployed because we couldn't get a bank to loan to us to fund the whole project. And we were afraid that we were going to lose the building. We had a buy-sell, and we were afraid we were going to lose it. So we dug deep. We took every nickel that we could rub together, and we made a down payment on a building on a 90-day loan, crossing our fingers and hoping that we would find somebody that wanted to invest in us during that next 90 days. Each of these lenders we went to, they said, this is the best business plan we've ever seen. You guys really understand your financials, you understand the industry, this is really fantastic. We're not going to loan you money, but this is really tremendous. Thanks. So we bought this building while John was unemployed. And we hoped, right? And we just had adopted this little girl who grew up with roaches and no hot water, and here we were terrified again that she was going to think that that's how the world really worked, right? Not just in the home where she was raised, but in our home too. And I think my lowest moment was when the fire department came around doing their annual food drive, and Cooper, my little guy, said, Mom, are we going to get a bag of food and give it to the firemen? And I said, oh, baby, not this year. And he said, oh, how come? And I said, just because, not this year. We'll do it next year. But the nice young kid comes to the door and he knocks and he says, hey, I'm collecting for the food bank. And I sent Cooper to go fill up a bag of food, and I handed it over. And I really asked myself the question, was I going to be turning around and going back to the food bank to get that bag of food back? We were broke. We were so broke. And it was the scariest damn place to be. But you dig deep and you learn a lot about yourself and your ability to persevere and to believe in your vision and believe in your goals and hope that the universe will believe in you also. It hadn't believed in John with the last job that he had had and all of that effort that he put in. But maybe that was less of an isolated incident. Maybe that was the learning experience that was setting us up to be ready and able to do this. So you dig deep and you call on everybody that you know and everybody that loves you, and you pick their brains about what you're trying to do. In our case, that meant feeding a lot of people a lot of whiskey, which is okay, that's good feedback, like people like that. But we asked a lot of questions and we got a lot of great support. And the question asking didn't stop when we finally did get funded, when we were finally able to open our doors on Leap Day of 2012. So last year was our first official birthday. And we're proud of that. And we don't stop saying that we're not the smartest people in the room, and we don't stop asking questions. Just because we got the doors open doesn't mean we know everything. It means now we're in a whole world where we know even less than we did before. But this shit is hard. But entrepreneurs, innovators, thinkers, makers, doers, we don't do what we do because it's easy, right? We do it because we love it, and we do it in part because it's hard. We do it because we can't not, and because we all eat hard for breakfast. right? And because Kennedy also said it in that same famous speech, this country of the United States was not built by those who waited and rested and wished to look behind them. My goal is to use my breakout session to talk about strategy, to talk about how, and I'll stop there. But I want to give you a handful of takeaways. We've been really lucky to be able to build a career and a business around the life that we want to live. We started at the end, the goal, the dream, and then built a plan to move ourselves from the place where we were to that place that we want to be. And now, in fact, my most important job is to keep 31 people's eyes looking on that same point on the horizon. Keep us fixed on that place that we're moving, where they become the owners of this company, where we are the biggest damn distillery west of the Mississippi, and where they get to take complete ownership of that. Don't ever give up more than you have to. It's really hard to walk that back. I stand by not taking on investors. It added 8 months to our plan. It was the hardest point ever in my life, but nobody makes decisions about Headframe other than John and Courtney, and that would be really hard to work back from. Surround yourselves with people smarter than you and ask them all the questions. We have a board of advisors made up of people who have strategic bits of knowledge and experience, careers that are nothing like ours, who loan their intelligence and their experience to our advantage. I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to fill up a room full of people who are going to help me elevate my game. And don't be afraid to ask, right? Because what's the worst that can happen, right? Someone says no. How bad is no, actually? It's honestly, it's not that bad. I'm going to end with an ask, right? I'm starting with an ask and I'm ending with an ask, and this one's a two-parter. If you haven't, try our spirits, right? Try Headframe's booze. Go bigger, though. Come to our tasting room. Let us make you a cocktail. Buy a drink in a bar in Missoula made with Headframe product. Every time you do that, you're helping us help Butte write new stories and think about itself in new ways. Each cocktail matters. Each bottle matters. And go even bigger than that. Don't stop with just what we make. Try all craft spirits. You've got Montgomery right here in town. You have, in addition to us in Montgomery, 18 other licensed distilleries in the state of Montana. Drink their booze, go other places, and drink local. You're helping make people's dreams come true every time you do. Each of these stories is local, and they're fed by that passion and vision, and you can help further that. And to the entrepreneurs and those with an entrepreneurial spirit, put yourselves out there, right? Take a risk, make an ask, make an offer, but put yourself out there, because honestly, as John and I have already learned, there are fates far worse than failure. It's a stepping stone, not a period at the end of a sentence. Thank you.